To start off, I would like to ask, could you tell me a little bit about yourself, your team, what you guys do day to day, etc.?
Yeah, so I'm a general manager at a plumbing, heating, and air company. We mainly do home service repairs and maintenance. So we respond to mainly customer requests for, small business, light commercial and residential.
Awesome. And how many people are on the front line there?
I'm running about 50 trucks right now.
Nice. I said,
Yeah.
nice. That's a load to take care of.
Yeah, it's quite a bit, but we got a good team that, spreads the responsibility around a little bit. So
Let's go. But let's go back to for you at Plecto, because as we said, 50 trucks is a lot to manage. So
yeah.
how did that look? Could you describe what team performance looked like before you started using it?
Before Plecto, it was updating the whiteboard manually, and that would sometimes get updated, sometimes it wouldn't, right?
Hmm.
It's a tedious effort to do that. So there wasn't this healthy competition, this sort of camaraderie with a lot of the technicians of, talking about work and sort of congregating around the dashboards every morning, and just it's kind of the new, coffee machine or water jug, if you will. The Plecto board is kind of where all the technicians go and look at their numbers. So it's kind of raised the culture, I'd say. It's made it
Hmm.
healthy in a healthy way, competitive,
Hmm.
and just overall it has increased, yeah, the value and seriousness of technician performance for
Oh, that's
sure.
beautiful to hear. Do you
Yeah.
guys also feel more connected as a team now that you share the dashboard?
Yeah,
And
I would like to say I have something to do with that, but no, in all serious, yeah, I would say there's just a lot more conversations around technician performance, and I mean, Plecto has a big role in that for sure.
I'm very, very glad to hear that. But like, I hope that the whiteboard wasn't physical though. Like, that you actually manually had to write in it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of
What?
companies do that. They still do that, so hey, I mean, I try to tell them to join Plecto, but we'll see.
But they don't listen. They just don't listen. Well, that's why we're here today to convince them.
Right.
Since you mentioned some, could you maybe be more specific on in what ways has your team's performance changed since implementing Plecto? Like, of course, it got your guys buzzing and a lot more conversations started, but maybe could you be more specific?
I think we have the ability to sort of hone in on what KPIs or behaviors we want to focus on. So what we'll do is on any given week, we'll rank the technicians based on revenue. But if we notice that conversion rate is low, then we can sort of sort their conversion rate and rank them based on conversion rate or lead generation. So I think the ways that, we've been able to change our performance or increase it is by sort of more easily switching gears, changing directions and giving our managers the tools to be able to do that, and yeah, sort of make that just a one-stop shop for doing
Mhm.
that versus like having a meeting. We still do that, right? And have a whole training on like, hey, we need to focus on this. It's something you can kind of change in a second and say, all right, well, lead generation is down. Let's sort the board based on lead generation. So the guy at the bottom or, the guys in the middle, they want to win and they're going to focus on that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I hope that answers the question a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, it does. I would also love to ask, what kind of dashboard are you guys using?
So mainly the technician dashboard, which shows most of the technician KPIs. Included in that is like a sales dashboard, which has our sales estimators and sales technicians.
Mhm.
We also have a CSR dashboard, which we call a 3-day call board, which essentially gives us the amount of calls we have from here the following 3 days. Along with that, in our call center, we'll have a dashboard that switches to more of like a marketing sort of total call dashboard. And then we have like the overview company snapshot one, which it's something that me and the owner and a couple other managers will sort of use.
And you guys have that in your office so you like see it on the screen?
Yeah, so our in our call center we have the CSR television. We have the, sort of big screens on the wall, and then in our warehouse, which is where all the technicians get their parts, and next to the kitchen, we have the technician dashboard. They see it every day. It's there for everybody to see.
And
Yeah.
has this visibility also influence the behavior of the employees?
Yeah, I'd say so for sure. I mean, it definitely has done something to the culture of the employees to where, to an extent, they do hold themselves a little more accountable,
So it
definitely.
increases like the self accountability that they check on their boards and they're like, oh, okay, hey, I'm pretty low. But has it like saved some time now that you're using Plecto?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe how
absolutely. I
much?
mean, to update a whiteboard with, 20 given technicians, right? You have to go in first, you pull one report that's going to give you revenue, then you pull another report that's going to give you lead generation, right? And there's all these three, four, five different reports that you need to update sort of a whiteboard and then, reviews, things like that. So, yeah, I mean, that's probably why a lot of companies struggle with the whiteboard or, don't update it consistently. Certainly not, probably not daily, or even, every 30 minutes the way Plecto does it or 15 minutes. So yeah, I mean, saves time, absolutely. There's no way we're gonna update it daily, but even if we're updating it weekly, then yeah, you're talking about sometimes an hour or a few hours in a month to update a whiteboard. So you give those few hours back to the managers and you give them the tools to use that to be able to do their one-on-ones and do their coaching and change behaviors. They could do a lot more in those several hours a month, in recruiting or ride-alongs, things like that. So absolutely saves quite a bit of time.
Awesome. Fantastic. Could you maybe give me like a percentage, like how many hours you save monthly? Just a rough guess. Maybe like, oh, it saves 20% time, 30% time.
I mean, it's not that much, but if I were to say the average company is trying to update their whiteboard, say once a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to do that for about 20 technicians, that could take an hour to an hour and a half probably. And then you got to find the right person with the nicest handwriting, of course, and all
Mm-hmm.
that. So yeah, it's something that kind of, it goes to the end of the task list. I would say at least 4 to 6 hours a month. It could
Mm-hmm.
take time back. But more importantly than that, it raises the value and the importance of these key performance indicators, right? Like to see it on a television, to see it updated, to see the images or videos that come up when a technician gets a sale. Like guys get excited, the technicians are stoked to kind of see those sort of images that come up and gamification you have, and it just makes it fun versus like just a boring whiteboard. People don't pay attention to it as much.
Oh, totally. And you have to have the volume up to really
Yeah.
pay attention to it.
Yes, that's important.
And then you get the most value out of it. So
Right.
maybe could you be able to tell me how many perhaps more calls or visits can your team handle now that they see the results live?
A good question. I will say that it does contribute to their efficiency. Clearly, if they're looking at their numbers, Plecto definitely contributes to technician efficiency, in the sense that they want to be more productive, right? They want to generate more for the company and themselves and, do bigger numbers, better numbers, of course. So yeah, does it give the capacity to run more calls? Yeah, I would say so. How much? I mean, it's tough to measure that,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say it definitely increases technician efficiency by sort of holding themselves accountable to higher company standards.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Now, if I can ask you to go a little bit back to the dark ages and try imagine that Plecto was suddenly unavailable. What impact would that have on your team's efficiency and engagement?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I hate to think about that. You're taking me to a dark place. No, but yeah, I mean, I think
Sorry.
yeah, I think it's something that it would probably would slow down productivity a bit because I think technicians will then try to seek out their numbers and see how they're doing and see how they're ranking with other team members. So they might take up more of the manager's time. Of course, we're gonna have to do the whiteboard updating, right? So, technicians may think they're doing well when they may not be doing so well. So I think it would definitely decrease productivity, yeah, and decrease a bit of the efficiency and take up more of the manager's time. And
Absolutely. Because you
yeah, I would
also
say those
wouldn't see
things
the numbers.
for sure.
And since you have an instant access to all the data and how your employees have been doing, then it's a help.
Definitely.
It's a
No,
lot.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to go there, but it's true. I mean,
I
a
know, like,
world
no,
without Plecto.
don't go. let's not go there. Plecto is available and will be for a very long time. I
All
can
right.
promise you that. And now looking ahead, since we don't want Plecto to be going anywhere, looking ahead, what performance goals are you aiming to achieve over the next 6 months with Plecto support?
Predominantly, I'd like to do more of the gamification and do more of a team breakup to have a healthy competition amongst different teams, split up the technicians and teams and reward them based on their performance and reward the winners more often. Just make it fun and obviously, make it a win-win for both techs and for both the companies. So use Plecto as a tool to be able to achieve our, revenue goals, our conversion rate goals, our lead generation goals, some of our obviously our call goals, everything that it measures.
Mm-hmm. And could you be maybe a little specific about those goals? Like, what is your like call goal in half a year?
Oh, okay. Like just more down to the numbers. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to, yeah, definitely. I use Plecto to hit our goals this year. I mean, we're gonna exceed that a little bit. So, getting into the fourth quarter here, we'd like to do quarterly goals of at least 5 million, every quarter. So
Mm-hmm.
Plecto's definitely measuring that with our company snapshot and yeah, just have that right in front of our face and see, what we need to do to hit our daily goal, hit our monthly, and of course quarterly goals.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And last but not least, on a scale of zero, hopefully not zero, but on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend Plecto to the other companies in your industry?
Definitely a 10. And I have, especially with our Nexstar community and network. Yeah, there's really, I mean, there may be, but there's nothing like it. It's a must for most companies that want to really drive production, that are goal oriented, that want to sort of create healthy competition, elevate the culture. You got to have Plecto for that.
Absolutely. And we 100% agree. Rick, thank you so much for all of your answers. They are very valuable and I will use them wisely.
Cool. Sounds good. Hope I was able to help,
Awesome.
Susanna. Thank you.
Absolutely.